Okay. It's probably like take 2. It is now Tuesday, June 18th. A couple of days since Father's Day and since I record all that video footage of 4 parks in one day. So, if you guys see the Epcot video, you'll notice something that I did about a couple minutes into it, where I talk about Joseph Kurtz, my creator, my biological dad, John Foreman, stepdad. And it's actually a little weird because that night I went home, like I did always, dumped the footage into the computer, into the desktop tower, and then I get all the footage compiled for rendering and editing, which we do ourselves. Well, I went ahead and I just Google searched because I was like, man, why not? Oh, by the way, if you hear a timer goes off, it's because it's 5 minutes and my green tea steeped. Well, anyway, it said that deceased 2022, born December of 1942. And I thought, okay. It's a little weird because every year I run checks just to see if he's still alive and nothing ever comes back. And this time, a very obscure one result on some weird website. Well, turns out it did happen. Back in 2022, and nothing was written about him, nothing was done. So I'm going to take a moment, and I went through Ancestry, did all the research. By the way, 2-week free trial. No credit card, hardly. Actually, strike that, there is a credit card requirement, but you can always just disable it later. So it helped to write this. It's called Life Story. When Joseph Michael Kurtz was born in December 1942 in Reading, Pennsylvania, his father Howard, my grandfather, and his mother Anna was 29. He had one son with Lori, which was me, and he died January 15, 2022 at the age of 79. But yeah, this is pretty cool. That it also shows like a timeline. December 1942, Joseph Michael Kurtz was born in Reading to Anna Sophia Kurtz, my grandmother, age 29, and Howard Raymond Kurtz, my grandfather, age 28. Then in 1961, at age 19, got a place in Reading. And then in 1972, Charles W. Kurtz, he died when my dad was 29 years old. We're not going to get into Uncle Charlie. That's a whole different story. And then, of course, at age 43 in 1985, I was born. Wow. My tea is ready. And then 1993. So, at age... This is interesting because, according to this, okay, I was sent down here to Florida in 1992. So he was 50 years old when that happened. And then in 2005, at age 62, grandfather, he died. And then he moved to Warnersville in 2005. And shortly after, 2 years later, grandmother died. And then finally, 2014, moved to another place in Wernersville, to which brings us to January 15th, 2022, age 79. And it's interesting because he first, and keep in mind, I went through his other marriage's result into her Facebook and was able to find out on her timeline that evidently he had colon cancer, and she remarked about it in 2021. Then he was getting better, and then after that, then he got COVID in 2022, and then that's when he died, unfortunately. What's really crappy and the worst part of all is we had a bad falling out ages ago. And it was mostly because I was going to send him some pictures of Lil. I honestly forgot to. I was young. I was also trying to deal with all of her doctor stuff. And yeah, at that point, we just stopped talking. And then later on, I finally found a number on him, called it, and it was basically, hey, if you ever show up, I'm going to call the cops on you. And when I was 9 years old, 9 years old, that's when I was moved down here to Central Florida by my stepdad and my mom. And it's weird because I missed him, but at the same time, it was just being tossed around. I was. And then I remember that he gave me a collection of Zorro, but it was on audio cassette. So he had to sit there and watch 2 seasons of Zorro and hold a microphone up to it to be able to record it, so that way I could actually listen to it while I fell asleep down here. And he also did that with Pete and Pete, The Adventures of, a 90s show. Really good too. And when I heard those cassettes, I didn't realize all the work that he put into doing that for me until recently. I was watching the Zorro episodes on Disney Plus, and that's where I saw it. And I was like, wow, sitting there to hold up a microphone. Gosh. Hold on. And then last night, Tiffany and I, we had a disagreement because whenever I find information out, I go into recluse mode and just shut everybody out. And I started hammering away and texting everybody I could think of on Jackie's list, on his new wife, aka stepmom. A couple of people there this morning, got a result back, and that's where I learned everything that I just shared. I don't know. It's hard because all I want to do is just go back up there see the old sites, the pagoda, Franklin Street in Redding, all of it. Even a couple of the malls that he took me to. So I think it's going to be one of our next adventures. After a couple down here, going into next year, we'll take a trip up to Pennsylvania and see all that. Well, I thank you guys for your time on this. I know this isn't our typical happy video, but thank you for watching. And I hope you guys have a good day. Hope you had a great Father's Day. I'll see you guys later.